how much money can you really spend on a PC? Here's a $58,000 theoretical PC build. Let's talk about that. So I asked myself, how much could you really spend on a PC without going that you could actually fit in your room? Well, I think I have the answer. These are the best of the best components. Alright, let's start with the cradle of the whole kind of computer. Here's the motherboard. Now here, I gotta get my sheet of paper out because it's so long. I'm going with the C602 EEB Dual LGA 2011 7 PCI E16 Dual Intel LAN Workstation Motherboard. Now, this actually has like dual processor support and quad SLI, which we will so be taking advantage of, just in terms of like generalizings. Yeah, just overall great motherboard. You know, got dual processor support and quad SLI. That's pretty good. So here's the processor, which you actually can't buy in the stores. It's a high server grade processor. It has 6 physical cores and 6 hyper-threaded cores, which is a total of 12, and we're going to be getting 2 of them because of our dual processor support, which is $13,800 plus the $650 that the motherboard costs. So you've already got like a $14,500 computer right now. Yeah, and we aren't even started yet. So here are the graphics. Now, what are we going to use for the GPU? Well, that answer is we're going to use 4 GTX Titan Zs. Titan Zs are top-of-the-notch line graphics cards. Nothing can top the Titan Z. I'm serious, nothing. A singular unit would be priced at $3,000, and since we're getting 4 of them due to the quad SLI, that's gonna break your bank at $12,000 in total. $12,000 for 4 Titan Zs. Alright, let's go on to RAM. This is the most expensive and fastest RAM on the planet right now. This is the G.Skill Trident X series RAM. I got 4x8, which is 64. So we're gonna have 64 gigabytes of RAM, of the fastest RAM in the world. Now this RAM is gonna set for a 4x8. This RAM is gonna set you back $1,770. Yes, that's a lot of money, and there would be no reason you need to spend that much on RAM or even have that much RAM. I don't know what you do with that, but still. So let's move on to power supply. There's no reason to have a power supply like this, but I'm just like, you know what? YOLO. Here's a 5,000 watt power supply, and it's going to set you back $10,290. This wouldn't even fit in like any case unless your like actual case was like a literal tower. This thing is just humongous. It's the size of like, I don't even know how to explain it, but this thing is just humongous. Yeah, $10,290 for a 5,000 watt power supply. It's the 1668 1A 5,000 watt power supply. Now let's move on to hard drives. This is kind of endless, but I decided to go with 8 1 terabyte solid state Samsung EVO 850 drives. Now SSDs are much faster than HDDs, which are disk drives, because disk drives, as you fill them up more, they get, you know, longer and longer because they keep moving outer to like the biggest outer ring on the disk that's in the drive. So solid state drives are completely solid, and they keep running as fast as possible with, you know, the most amount of memory. So next, let's move on to the OS, which isn't as important, but it is pretty much. I was gonna go with Windows 8, and for all you Windows 7 fanboys, Windows 8 has actually much deeper core functionality. But we're going to go with Windows 10 because it's a little more user-friendly and has that core functionality that you really want. So Windows 10 is actually a free upgrade for Windows 8 users, but Windows 8, the standard version, is $180. So we're just going to say, you know, it's $180 for the Windows 10 operating system. By the way, that's me pulling my chair up. Okay, monitors. So there's two things that you want to look for in monitors: 4K and multiples of them. So I'm gonna go with 3 Asus PQ321QE 4K widescreen monitors, which are each 29 inches and they're widescreen. Each one of these monitors are priced at $1,300, and if we're getting 3 of them, that's gonna set you back $3,900 just for monitors. These have really low response times, like 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, 1 millisecond actually. But yeah, really low response time. So next, you're gonna have to keep your PC cool. So we're gonna be using, Corsair actually has great cooling. We're going to be using the H100i Corsair liquid cooling, which is going to be priced at around $200 and is said to be the most, like the best liquid cooling currently on the market. I personally don't have liquid cooling because I'm always paranormal that tube's going to break or something, but Corsair, people always say, is really reliable when it comes to liquid cooling. Anyway, let's move on to the case. And the next two Corsair products are actually Corsair products, but for the case I went with the Corsair Obsidian Series 900D. Now this case is just amazing. It's got a great it's got a great, cooling, great cable management, lots of places to put your storage drives in. It's really big, so you can fit like all your beefy components in there. It's just said to be a really good all-around case. So next, this is where it comes to personal preference for people, like peripherals. Here's the keyboard, and I went with the Corsair K70 RGB keyboard. The build quality on this is fantastic. You got inline media controls, Cherry MX key switches, and like new RGBs, which are actually built under the keycap instead of over them to stop static discharge, I think it's called, which basically destroys the light in the keycap. So that's, yeah. The only close second to this would be the Razer Black Widow Chroma. Anyway, let's move on to the mouse, the second peripheral. Alright, so with the mouse, I have to give the edge to the Razer Mamba. With the year and a half that I've actually had the Razer Mamba, I love every second of it. It's got great clicking speeds, 6,400 DPI. You can go wired or wireless, whether you're playing, I don't know, League of Legends or Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Like, it's got a great response time. It's just all around good mouse. Feels really good in the hand, stuff like that. So let's move on to the headset, where for all you audiophiles out there, let's do this. So with the headset, I have one audiophile friend, and he let me try his Sennheiser HD 800s, which are $1,500. But I'm sorry for all you Beats users and Shure users, this just puts the Beats to shame. It really does. These they feel comfortable. They're great. They're a little heavy, but that makes up so much in sound quality. It's just amazing. They're a really great pair of headphones. So next, let's go to speakers, which I actually didn't include these in my final price because no one buys them. These are the let me flip my page. These are the Hansen Audio Grand Master speakers, which are $240,000. Yes, I read that right. And only 2 companies have purchased them, and they first went on show at CE at a Computer Electronics Show 2010 in Vegas. Yeah, and people were just blown away by the sound there. So, but they're $240,000. Anyway, not that you'd need it, but here's a subwoofer for your $240,000 speakers. I've heard great things about this subwoofer. It's the SBS SB13 Ultra subwoofer, which is $1,500, and I've heard great things about it. It improves the bass, got it absolutely it sharpens the sound quality like a knife, like an X-Acto knife. It's just great all around good subwoofer. I don't have a subwoofer, but I've heard great things about this one. Anyway, not that you really need it, but when you're Skyping with friends, it's good to have a microphone. So here's a Neumann U87 microphone, which is like what recording artists like Katy Perry use. You know, Katy Perry, Lil Wayne, people like that. $3,600 will set you. That's what this microphone costs with the shock mount. So you do get a shock mount with it. But this thing, like, you wouldn't need this for Skyping with friends or family. Like, you wouldn't need this at all unless you're like gonna be like that guy who's like, I'm gonna make it someday and post all their music on SoundCloud. It's like Mixtape Monday dropping. Yeah. So finally, the chair. Now, the chair is actually the most important part of a setup, because if you have a great setup, but you're not comfortable sitting in front of it, then it's not really fun to do, right? Shouldn't be a challenge. So here is the Concord Presidential Blue Hen chair. And this is the current chair that Barack Obama uses in his office, and George Bush. There comes the first cough. Anyway, I went pretty long without coughing. Anyway, yeah, just Barack Obama uses it, okay? Obama approved. $4,800 though. So the total without those speakers is $58,880, and that is just crazy. You never need to spend that on a computer. So thank you watching. We'll see you next time. Oh, also, International Women's Day. Yeah, so we need to stop discrimination against women, because that's just something that shouldn't even be going on today. I think it's completely ridiculous that it still happens today. So International Women's Day was March 8th. You're probably watching this on March 9th. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching so much, and, support women. They don't need to be discriminated against. Happy International Women's Day.